Rhonda here with Foods 101. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this pink lemonade cake. Absolutely fantastic for the spring and summer seasons. The ingredients you're going to need for the cake part is 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of whole buttermilk, 1 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, 1 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of grenadine, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of thawed pink lemonade from concentrate. You can buy it in the frozen food section. 4 large eggs, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, 1/2 teaspoon of pure lemon extract, 2 tablespoons of seedless strawberry jam, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. For the frosting part, you're going to need 4 cups of powdered sugar. Some of you in the world will know this as a frosting sugar. 1/3 cup of pink lemonade from concentrate. This is 1 teaspoon of freshly grated lemon zest. Now you want to zest your lemon before you go ahead and squeeze out your fresh lemon juice. 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese at room temperature. 1 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature. And for the topping, you can decorate with pink sprinkles or not. I'm going to leave that up to you. Yes, and I forgot to point out your 3 tablespoons of pink lemonade from concentrate you're going to need to brush your layers of cake. I've got 3 8-inch round cake pans here that I've lightly greased and I floured, and I've also added parchment paper here onto the bottom that I've also greased too. And I'll show you how simple this is to do. Pull out about 8 inches of your parchment paper and just tear it off. Back with your cake pan, and I'm going to lie it flat side down. Take a pencil and you're going to draw around the bottom of your cake pan, all the way around. Fold it in half where you're going to meet, you see through your parchment paper there, where we're going to meet the other half of the circle. Cut inside where you've traced your pan, because the outside of your pan where you've traced it is going to be a bit larger than the inside of your pan. Then we're just going to open it up. It's going to fit perfectly. You're going to put flat side down, not the curly side up. I've got some all vegetable shortening. Generously grease your parchment paper here because you don't want your cake sticking. This goes back into its pan, and let me show you how we're going to make this cake part. Don't throw away the rest of your parchment paper. I'm going to show you how we're going to use this later. In a medium mixing bowl, we're going to add all the flour, the baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Doesn't want to come out of there. It's a little humid today. Whisk these 4 ingredients super well. It's not going to take long. Set this off to the side. Into a small bowl, we're going to add that strawberry jam. Microwave this for about 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, it's nice and warm. See what a smooth texture that heat gave your seedless strawberry jam. Add that pink lemonade from concentrate with that lemon juice. Fresh squeezed. It'll make all the difference in the world in how it's going to taste. Your lemon extract and your pure vanilla extract. Add the buttermilk. Oh yeah. Until you have all these ingredients well combined. Pour this in a 2-cup measuring cup, and if I had been thinking, that's what I would have mixed all these ingredients in to begin with. Add your grenadine syrup and give that a lovely little stirring, and you can see how lovely and pink that's going to be. Set this off to the side. I'm using my stand mixer to mix the cake together. Cube in my room temperature butter. Be sure you add your sugar first. That way your butter is not going to stick to the bottom of your mixing bowl here. And if you want to use a hand mixer to put this together, you may. Add both sticks using my paddle attachment to mix this together. I'm bringing my speed up to 3, and we're going to incorporate this until it's well blended. And I'm going to add a little bit more speed to it on 5. After about 30 seconds, be sure to scrape down the sides of your bowl. Very important when you're baking. Next, we're going to add 1 egg in at a time. I've got my speed on 4. And we're going to incorporate each egg for about 30 seconds. There's 2, 3, and 4. I turn my camera off in between beatings with my speed on 2 until we get all these ingredients incorporated. I'm going to start adding my flour by just spooning it in. along with our buttermilk mixture. Oh, that smells so yummy. Be sure to keep your speed low right now, because if you turn it up, you're going to get a flour shower. And you want all your flour to stay into your cake batter here. And add a little bit more of your buttermilk mixture. And continue doing this until you get all your ingredients mixed into your cake batter. Adding the rest of my flour along with my buttermilk mixture. That's coming along beautifully. And again, you want to make sure you scrape down the sides of your bowl. We'll give it a lovely little mixing. I've got this on 4, so we'll mix it for an additional 1 minute. Adding about 2½ cups of your batter into each baking pan. At this point, you want your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Spread it from side to side. Tap your pans so you can get all those air bubbles out. These are off to that 350 degree preheated Fahrenheit oven. On the middle rack for the next 20 to 24 minutes. Use your timer and no peeking. Cakes have baked. I'm gonna let them cool here in their pans for 10 minutes, and then I'll be back and I'll show you how to remove them from their pan. If you want to double check to make sure they're completely baked, you use a toothpick, stick it in. If it comes out clean, then you know you have a perfectly baked cake. To remove these cakes from their pan, it's been about 10 minutes. The pans are slightly warm. Take a plastic cheap knife. Make sure the edges of your cake aren't going to stick to your pan, and these little plastic knives aren't going to scratch up your pans. That's why I love them so much. Add your cooling rack here to the top. Flip it upside down. Remove the pan and the parchment paper, and look what a beautiful little layer of cake that is, and it smells so yummy. This is so much fun. I gotta show you how to do it again. Go around the edge, take your cooling rack, flip it upside down, and I heard the cake just pop out. Lift it up and remove that parchment paper. You're never gonna have a problem with your cake sticking to its cake pan when you're using parchment paper. I love the color. I'll let these cool down completely, about 30 minutes to be safe. For that leftover parchment paper, we're gonna make squares. You can discard this piece that we got our circle from, and we're making them into about 2-inch square pieces. And I'll show you how we're going to use this later. I've added my first cake layer here to the platter, and back with that parchment paper, the curled side down, we're going to strategically place these little pieces of parchment paper around the cake, so when we get ready to frost it, the frosting's not going to get on your plate. Got all my parchment paper around the edges, and see how that works. It's a great little tip. Take 1 tablespoon of that pink lemonade from concentrate. I'm using a little teaspoon here because we're adding 1 tablespoon to each layer. 3 teaspoons equal a tablespoon. Just set this off to the side while I show you how to make that frosting. I'm using my KitchenAid to make the frosting. I've got my room temperature cream cheese cut in cubes. I just split it down the center and add the cubes. It makes it a lot easier to mix. I'm adding the room temperature butter. I'm cubing it. Again, it makes it a lot easier to mix. Add both sticks using my paddle attachment. We're going to bring it up. I'm adding 4 speed to incorporate this till it's nice and creamy. About 2 minutes. After about a minute, you're going to scrape down the sides of your bowl. Add that lemon zest. Go ahead and mix for another minute. All right, that additional minute's up, and again, we're going to scrape down the sides of your bowl. Ooh, and that lemon zest smells so lovely and fresh. On low speed, we're going to slowly start adding in that powdered sugar. Now, if you got your speed up high and you're adding in this powdered sugar, it is gonna go flying everywhere. At this time, you can add a little bit of that pink lemonade concentrate, maybe about a tablespoon. You don't want to add too much liquid to your frosting because you can't take the liquid out. Probably add another teaspoon of my pink lemonade from concentrate, and I'm going to add the rest of my powdered sugar. I didn't use all of my pink lemonade concentrate. Alright, I think my frosting needs to be a little bit thicker, so I'm going to add about a half a cup of powdered sugar. I'm going to start on low. Want your frosting at a texture to where you can spread it on your cake. That's much better. Alright, that looks fantastic. Back with that cake layer. Add a half a cup of our frosting, and oh my gosh, it smells so good with that lemon zest in there. And if I was a professional cake maker, I'd have a little stand where you could just swirl it around whenever you needed to. All right, you want to take it to whether it's about 1/4 of an inch over here off the side, because when you put your other cake layer on, you don't want your frosting squishing out between your two layers. Now we're going to add our next layer, and I broke it there in half, but that's okay. It'll still work. Put it back together like a puzzle, and then we're going to do 3 teaspoons of that pink lemonade. We're going to add another half cup of the frosting and take it over to this side till it's about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch from the edge. Add that last layer. We're going to add another tablespoon. Start adding our frosting here on the top, but I guess the professional rule of thumb is you start along the edge and pull your frosting up. I'm using a spatula and I'm adding the frosting here along the sides, and then I just come back with a knife, and you can go all the way to the bottom of your plate there because we've got it protected with that parchment paper. We continue going all the way around the edge of our cake. I just find it's a lot easier using this spatula. You kind of want to start from the top and work your way down. Back with that knife, and it spreads on there perfectly evenly, just the way I like it. I've got my edges frosted, and as you can see, I go down to the bottom of the parchment paper and bring the frosting up. That way you'll have the bottom layers covered and you'll have the top layers of your cake covered here. For the top, and I'm adding the rest of my frosting there, we're going to take it to the edge of where we brought it up, there on the sides, and there you got yourself a beautifully frosted, delicious pink lemonade cake. And there we go. We're going to remove that parchment paper. As you can see, I'm pushing in with the knife and pulling out the parchment paper while I make a brief swirl to my left. That way it'll keep your platter nice and beautiful. Okay, you get it. I'm gonna stick this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. I've had my cake chilling for about an hour. I'm gonna cut in this and see what it's like on the inside. I don't feel like I need to clean my knife, so I'm gonna get a nice smooth cut. And here, let's look on the inside and see what it's like. Oh yeah, oh looky there. Put it over here on the plate. Looky there. On the inside. Ooh, pink lemonade cake. It didn't turn out as pink as I thought it would be, but we gotta give it a little taste and see what it tastes like. Here we go. Oh, gotta have my frosting on there. Wow. A lot of lemon flavor. That cake is nice and moist. The pink lemonade concentrate gives it a whole lot of lemon flavor in the cake batter. Wow. If you want to tingle your taste buds and get into the spring and summer cake baking season, I would highly suggest this pink lemonade cake. or you can just call it a lemonade cake. This is one delicious citrusy cake. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit that notification bell to be the first to get my new YouTube food videos. Add sprinkles if you wish. I think it looks fantastic with or without. I'm gonna leave that up to you. Thanks a million for watching, and I'll catch you lovely people later.